News on the Jelani Day death investigation. LaSalle County Coroner now says the Illinois State grad died by drowning.
An Illinois coroner says the death of a college student during the summer was due to drowning, but it is still not known how he got into the water. Jelani Day was last seen at the Illinois State University campus on August 24th. His body was recovered from the Illinois River on September 4th.
Though Day's body was decomposed, the coroner says it was still clear that there was no evidence of any injuries.
His family disputes those findings and had an independent autopsy completed. Results from that have not been released.
Hundreds of Illinois State University students marched in unity.
Say we want answers. Somebody say justice for Jelani.
Reverend Jesse Jackson and members of his Rainbow Push Coalition spoke with the Illinois State University's Black Student Union tonight.
Whoever killed him, let the record show it.
This is a family of veterans. The mother and father are both veterans. It's a family of five. They're all in college.
And Jonathan, he's an avid swimmer and was on the university's swim team.
His mother, Carmen, says her son was strong and she doesn't believe he drowned himself.
Somebody did this to Jelani.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Hi guys, I just wanted to pop in. Sorry, I know I look very crusty. I wanted to pop in and just give you guys an update because they officially released the cause of death for Jelani Day. And like everything with this case, it's been controversial and there's a little bit more to the story. 2 days ago, the coroner released a statement. Now, according to the family, he didn't tell them first. He just released the statement and they're upset about that. But all media outlets got a statement from the coroner and it said, quote, after consideration of the currently known circumstances surrounding his death, based upon review of the extensive available investigation, medical, and dental information, and after post-mortem examination with multiple ancillary and special studies, the cause of death of this positively identified 25-year-old male, Jelani Jesse Javante Day, is drowning. Unfortunately, there is no specific test at autopsy for drowning. Drowning is considered a diagnosis of exclusion with supporting investigation circumstances when a person is found deceased in a body of water. The coroner also added that the autopsy was, quote, suboptimal due to how decomposed Jelani's body was. Despite how suboptimal and decomposed the body was, they were able to, quote, find no evidence of any pre-death injury, such as manual strangulation or assault or altercation, sharp, blunt, or gunshot injury, infection, tumor, natural disease, congenital abnormality, or significant drug intoxication. So that's the part also that people are talking about where they're like, if it was so decomposed that you couldn't tell certain things, how are you able to tell this? And I do remember in my previous video, which I'll link my 2 videos below that I've done on this case in case you're like new to it. But in the second video I did, there was talk of some sort of blunt force trauma to the head. But now they're saying there isn't. So there's just so much confusion with this case. They still don't know how Jelani got into the water. And keep in mind too, we still don't know the manner of death, which is like accident, homicide, suicide. We don't know that. All we know is that they're saying he died from drowning. What led to the drowning? Did somebody drown him? Did he drown himself? Like, we don't know. They did say that the police are still investigating the case. And the thing with this is there's many jurisdictions. Like there's LaSalle, there's Bloomington where he went missing or where he was. And then there's Peru where he was found. So there are a lot of like different jurisdictions and that tends to complicate a case a little bit. That's another reason why they're asking for the FBI to come in and take over.
But his family is still asking federal agencies to get involved. What is it that you are asking of from Peru law enforcement?
Well, we're asking justice for Jelani Day. The case starts in Bloomington, Illinois, and then it goes to LaSalle County. Items were found in Peru, the city, with buttresses against LaSalle, the city, which is in LaSalle, the county. The clothes were found on state property on a state road. The body was recovered by a state agency in the river. So we're asking for the Attorney General, the power of the Attorney General. When it's multi-jurisdictional, it starts in Bloomington and they're not sharing information. The car is going back and forth. It's evidence in between counties where the crime scene has not been roped off and no one is leading the investigation. That's why we're specifically asking for the Illinois Attorney General.
Then there were a few little things I wanted to clarify, because in my last video, when I was talking about the water temperature, I was like, I don't have the water temperature for you. Well, I do have the temperature for you. According to the coroner, it was 77 degrees for several days when Jelani was in the water. The other thing too that I wanted to talk about was the jaw. Remember how I was saying the jaw was sawed off? Well, the coroner clarified that, I'll read you the quote. He said that the coroner who first examined Jelani Day's recovered body said it was severely decomposed, but no body parts were missing. The coroner said the jaw was removed to assist with identification and that all parts of the body were returned to the family. His mom rejected the report. She doesn't believe he died from drowning, and this is why, quote, "That is a narrative that my son did something to himself. He did not." She also said that Jelani was an avid swimmer, and an avid swimmer doesn't drown himself. She said Jelani didn't have depression or mental issues. Those are indicative of someone that had suicidal thoughts. That's not what my son had. They still believe foul play was involved, and they're basing that based off the fact that his items were found scattered and the license plate was changed, and it seems like the car was hidden and all that kind of stuff that we all feel like, or most of us think that this is why we think foul play could be the most likely scenario. Although I had a thought, like, I don't like to get locked in one thing if I don't know for sure, because I think you start to like filter in things that make your theory seem the most plausible one, and then you kind of like dismiss or ignore other things. So I was trying to keep an open mind as best as I could, even though I was leaning towards foul play. And what I was thinking could be an accident is if he had a head injury of some sort and then kind of was disoriented and then was leaving his stuff. But if you have a head injury, are you gonna like unscrew the license plates and put it back? Like if he's disoriented, there were certain things that were done that you kind of need to be sharp for or something, although it's saying there's no head injury. So I don't know. I still think, I just want to know what happened. It's so weird. It's just so weird. Okay, let me continue. His mom continued to say, no, Jelani didn't hurt himself. No, he didn't drown himself.
So no, Jelani didn't hurt himself. No, Jelani did not drown himself. No, Jelani did not do this to himself.
So the relationship between the coroner and Jelani's family is not the best. And so they ended up asking for help. So they got Reverend Jesse Jackson involved, and they went and marched to the area where Jelani's body was found. The coroner was there too. And the coroner said that Jelani's mom asked him to come, quote, "That was to show support because Carmen Day asked me to attend and I said I would, and to come here to show support for their cause. I still agree. We need to determine why he was found in the water." Like I said, Jesse Jackson was there. He came out, he spoke, he said something. Now, I don't know. Okay. He said something about there's video of Jelani going into a restaurant, but then there's no footage of him coming out. So I don't know if it was human error, if he got that confused, or if he knows something we don't, that there was like another sighting of Jelani at a restaurant. So I don't know. I'll just show you the clip of him saying that.
We know that's some tape of him sitting on the campus. Right. You go in the restaurant, the tape shop. We found out 2 weeks later. Face out in the river.
Then the state representative got involved and he wrote a letter to the police saying, he didn't go so far as to say the FBI needs to be involved. He still said it should stay at the state level, but he did say they need more specialized resources. They need to allocate more resources, more time to figure out what's going on with this. Even though we have a cause of death, we still have a lot of questions. I'm very curious to see if we can find out more. Nobody's speaking up. Nobody's speaking up. I really wish we had some sort of eyewitness, something where we get a little bit more information, like what happened that day. His phone is still missing. Remember, his phone is still missing. I think that is a big thing with the foul play, because if all his stuff was scattered, how come we haven't found the phone? The license plate of the vehicle was also missing. So we'll see. Please let me know what you guys think. Does this new information change anything for you? I would like to know. For me personally, I think the fact that they couldn't say the manner of death means that the drowning doesn't really tell us either way if this was an accident or foul play, because you could have been drowned. Somebody could have been drowned. I still think it's foul play. I just don't know. It's like with each bit of new information, I have more questions than answers. So hopefully we find more answers. I'll let you know if anything else happens. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.